We have some amazing updates on the Sure Profit strategy. So usually it looks like this. So maybe if you already have it, it looks similar to this. And we heard your feedback. We thought maybe we can do even better than now. And this is what we came up with. So first of all, of course, usually it looks like this. And why is this line always visible and why is it red? Because it's a take profit, right? So usually a take profit is a good thing. If you hit the take profit, you made a profit, of course, and it should be green instead of red. So what we did is, of course, we made it green. That is the first thing. And the second thing is, why should there always be a line? There should also just be a line, a take profit line, if there is a trade, of course. So only visible if there is a open of a trade, you have a take profit, and then if the take profit is hit, the line disappears. And you have, of course, still the buy and sell signals or close signals over here, which makes it very, very easy to use this strategy even when you are a beginner trader. But this also works for advanced traders, as you can see here, a very, very good strategy. And what else we integrated is a very important feature. It looks a bit easier, a bit more advanced here, but you have the show performance table. You still have this feature, of course, but it's now on top, so you can immediately and easily disable it or enable it if you want to have it or not. So this is still the same. What else we have is you can choose or filter the entry indicator. So usually we used a MACD for entering a trade, but you can also use more filters here or use another one. So for example, only the EMA, you can use MACD and EMA, you can use MACD RSI and EMA. So you can filter the entries more and more to have better entries and better, of course, results in the end, profits, right? So this is what you can do now. Another thing we implemented is, wouldn't it be great if the take profit level is hit? But why should you, in a trending market, then close the position if you could just hold it until and have a trailing stop loss? So when the market is trending, it keeps growing, and only when it's coming back down again, you close the position. This way, you don't close it right at the take profit, but more on top. So you have higher returns, and I can show you how this works. So usually, what you have is this kind of growth here in this example of the NDX in a 2-hour chart, right? This is the equity curve, and it looks very, very great. We have great results, 21,000% in P&L. We have a max drawdown of 57%. Don't worry here, you can decrease the risk by just clicking here, for example, to 50%, and then of course the drawdown is also lower, like 30%, right? So this is no problem if you are a bit more like risk averse, you don't want to have this kind of drawdown. We had 85% win rate, which is great, and the profit factor of 11. So amazing results here. But what you can now do is you can enable the trading stop. You can also change the inputs here. And what then happens is, of course, the returns are even better. So you, instead of 21,000%, you have a return of 76,000%. Still the same, kind of the same drawdown. The win rate is still very high, 80%, a bit lower, and the profit factor is 5.9. So these data points here are a bit lower, but the overall return is way higher. So in some markets, it can make sense to have a trailing stop drawdown, and you can see it working live here. So the market is falling. The strategy keeps buying in the grid system. And then when it hits the take profit level, it doesn't immediately close the positions. It waits, or it enables the trailing stop function here, and it waits until the trailing stop is hit, and then it closes the position. So you can see in this example, it worked very great. And instead of closing the positions here, it stopped here and had a way higher return, of course. It's not always the case. It depends on the markets, but I think this feature is very, very great. And it will allow you to have more control over the strategy and enable it for more or improve it to optimize it for more markets. And this is the improvement we made on the strategy, and I think they are very good. Let me know your thoughts on this, but I think it will help you very much, and all of this keeps the same. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, happy trading, great profits. See you.